So even though I'm waiting on the new rail, I went ahead and mounted the regulator. Just put 2 riv nuts in this back panel here, and it kind of sits just above that lip, almost actually touching it. And there's just enough room for a fitting to go down, and then that'll be the output from the rail. So the line's gonna come off that filter, come up to right there, go into the rail, it's gonna go down the rail, come out this end of the rail, go back to here, and then this will then have the return. So while I wait for the rail, I can still go ahead and do the return. That's gonna be the longest hose, so I can make sure I get that done, and then if I run out of hose for one of these sections, you know, I can get a shorter bit. But so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I threaded the one end into the bottom of the regulator, and it goes down just beside the filter and then down under the car. So now I'm gonna run it under the car all the way back to the tank and make sure we have the right length and we can get everything set up the way we need it. So here's the return, running all the way down the frame rail, up over the control arm, and then up the tank. I'm gonna take some extra care that I route the lines as close to this pivot as possible when I move this bracket here. That way, under crazy compression of the control arm, it's not gonna pinch the lines or do anything like that. If you put them down by the hinge, it's not possible. So that should be good. So I ran that up out the top of the tank, and then I marked it with some electrical tape. So now I'm gonna pull it back out. You can see there's where I have to make my cut. I also measured the other hose I was gonna need, and it was like 22 inches. So that'll be plenty for that last hose I need. So I'm gonna run it all the way out, and then I'll cut that and put the other end on. So I got it in the vise now, and I'm gonna take the angle grinder and cut as perfectly square of a line as I can. So I'm gonna take extra care to make sure that it's straight. Nice and square. So now I'm going to peel the tape off and do what I did before, put the new line on. There we go. Now we got the whole return line with both ends. So now I have the return all clamped up. I just used these line clamps. This is like a 5/8 size, and I just put them both through one riv nut. And then here, I flipped the exhaust hanger upside down and made like a little channel for it. And I'm gonna zip tie them together and probably to here. And then they come together there, and then they go up. I checked the full travel of this arm just to make sure it wasn't gonna do anything here. But if I move these all the way over here, this practically doesn't move. It's more or less just kind of like this weird twisty pivot thing, and then that moves. That's actually the stroke. So, and then they go up there and then out to the tank. So, whew. So now the only line left is going to be the line that moves from here to the front of the rail. And I have just enough AN line left to make it, but I'll wait until I obviously get the rail to put that on. So I will pick this up when the rail comes in. Look at that. Fuel rail, all the hardware, and then I got the fittings already. I have a bunch of weird stuff, but I got one of the plugs, and I got some more vibrant fittings for the front and back of the rail. So I am going to put that in very fast because I want this thing to start, and I might have to go out and get some more gas. Oh yeah, I don't have any gas in my tank. But I'm going to put this back together because this thing has been without a fuel system for far too long, and it just needs to be all one piece again. Yes. This thing is pretty. Oh my gosh. I'm stoked. Now I'm just going to throw in all the fittings, and then I can mount up the spacers, and I can just pop her in. Then all I have to do is make one more AN line. So I have the new rail all installed. Now just to make that last AN line. This is all that's left of my 10-foot spool. I learned my lesson after doing the feed that I made it a little too much slack. And I was like, I'm gonna run out, so I did a couple measurements just to make sure, but yep, 10 feet's enough if you don't mess up. Don't mess up. And that is it. All done. Got the new rail and the return right up back to the regulator, return back to the tank. Everything is all set, nice and clean. I'm just gonna throw the throttle body back on, go grab some gas and see if she starts. And there we go. It's all back together. Ooh-wee. That's super stealthy. You can't even like tell that's aftermarket. But that line is just nice and clean. Goes right back. Boop. I'm gonna go get me some gas. So I just added some gas and kicked it on. It took a little bit to prime. But as far as I can tell, there's no leaks. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, nothing's leaking. Oh my God. I'm stoked. Everything's going. There is fuel pressure. I just have to adjust it. I'm trying to find the right size Allen wrench. But right out of the box, it's got 48 or something. So I'm just gonna turn it down a bit. Just adjusted it. It's about 43 to 45 PSI. Now I'm gonna give it a start. Oh my God, guys. Geez, sorry, got a sore throat. I cannot believe that we're back running this early. You know, it's still only January. Got the thing back running. Fuel system's perfect. Now when it comes to drivability, the only thing left is a tune. I have a few more little tweaks I have to do to the car, but between that, a tune, and hopefully bodywork and paint, this thing will be ready for the drift season this year. Hoping financially I can keep up with that. But that'll do it for this video, guys. Oh man, I really hope you guys are as excited as I am. It is kind of smoked up in here. Should not have done that, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. If you're as excited as I am, guys, please hit the like button. If you want to keep following along with the RX7, Ted Z, My Z, anything else we do here in our garage, please subscribe and hit that little bell if you want to be notified. I will see you guys next time. Bye.